What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype, episode 255. There's some rumors swirling around about Panini that we're going to talk about. We're on the heels of a big Topps Chrome release, a lot bigger than it's been over the last couple years with Julio Rodriguez, got a little Wander Franco, so we're going to discuss that. We got This Week in the Hobby that we're going to talk about, and we got football on everybody's mind. We're going to talk about some of the stars and where you should land with their cards. How upset are you guys? We all got duped last week. All of our teams lost. Nobody won. Nobody can come in here pimp strutting because we all lost.
Yeah, I would say the Raiders was the closest game.
Dude, the Rams were down by 1 touchdown going into the fourth quarter. I mean,
we lost by 9.
Let's face it. It is week 1. There's a lot of weeks left.
16 to be exact.
16 to be exact. Yeah. So,
well, no, actually 17 more weeks of football.
17 more weeks. I mean, I'll take it. We played a really good team. So I'm fine. We lost against the Bills. It was at home. We played a really good team. The Niners basically played what everybody marked as a W out of the gate. Nobody thought the Bears were going to come out 1-0.
Yeah, Bears actually are one of the worst.
And honestly, the Raiders game was probably going to be a coin flip, right? Those teams are pretty evenly matched. And
I mean, you were saying nobody got a dub, but apparently, as now the resident Charger fan on this show, I mean, go Bolts, 1-0. Here
True.
we go.
I mean, you're
my favorite AFC team too, Cody.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's easy to jump on that bandwagon.
Well,
I mean,
it's dreamy hair.
And they barely won too, and they didn't even look that good.
No.
And I mean, there's a lot. Do we think that the Bengals are done?
No, of course
No,
not.
week 1, right? Even though Joe Burrow had 4 interceptions.
And like you mentioned the Niner game, the Niner-Bears game, that was probably one of the ones you could pencil in.
Don't say anything about the weather.
No, I'm not going to say
Okay,
anything.
good.
Other than I already said what I'd say about weather games anyway. But the other game that felt like a automatic W was that Titans-Giants game, which the Giants won. So weird week. Week 1's
I think we got a tie. There was a tie in there.
There was a tie.
Almost
There was also multiple. There was almost 3 ties at the same time. They were just there. There was a lot going on in that. That first on the West Coast. The early games. The 10 o'clock games at the end there. It was getting ridiculous.
If there's some absolute sicko out there who was really upset when they got rid of the 4th preseason game, right now they're feeling absolutely correct, absolutely justified.
100%.
Because they're like, look at what you get. You get this, but you know what? I like the weird football in week 1. I think it's fun.
There was a clip that we should have queued up about me being correct on the Bills by 20.
You can find it on the Twitter.
I was correct. So I'm going to make another bold statement. I'm saying Chargers by 15 this week.
I think the Bills
tomorrow.
won by 21.
Well, I mean, pretty
I
close.
mean, well, no, it's.
You said I didn't know football,
but it's not. Well, I mean,
you said I didn't know football.
You also said that Trey Lance is going to win Super Bowl MVP or something. And
well, it's only week 1. It's not over. And I also said the best player on the Rams went to the Bills, and he showed up. So he got 2 sacks, pivotal point in the game.
Well, our offensive line has issues. Your offensive line has issues. I think the Raiders' offensive line has issues.
I would say almost every football team in the NFL has offensive line issues, seeing how week 1 went.
Those guys clearly needed more preseason games.
I don't know, man.
I feel.
Kansas City looks pretty good.
Yeah, KC.
Or do the Cardinals look that bad?
Yeah.
A little both.
I think the Cardinals' defense.
I'm pretty sad about my Kyler Murray PC at this point. And did you hear Cliff Kingsbury's after the game said we need to practice? No, he said we need to
kept Rosen.
No, he said we need to practice better. So what is that aimed at? I mean, to me, the contract stipulation was we need to be more prepared and we need Kyler to do more film study. If they lose the game, he comes out, we need to practice better.
Kyler needs to come out and go, you know what I think we need? A better game plan.
Right?
Or a better game room.
Or better game room.
And by game plan, he means video game plans for the player.
Doug, don't worry. When the Topps FaZe Clan Series 1 comes out, the Kyler rookies in there are going to be really
Maybe he needs to go back to the A's. But anyways, we'll save all this football talk for the NFL Blitz segment, the NFL Blitz show, which is making its debut. So check back every week for more of those episodes geared around football, talking about rookie cards, talking about new releases for football. But let's talk about Topps Chrome that's coming out this week, and we got a special for you for breaks, guys. We're doing cases of Hobby. We're doing cases of Topps Chrome Jumbo. Chrome Jumbo, 5 autos, Chrome Hobby 2 autos, 12-box case on the Hobby. So you're getting 24 autos plus lots of parallels. And you're getting 5 autos in the Jumbo. So 40 in a case, 8-box case. We got a promo code, 15% off teams. And it's only in a freebie for this week only. So go over to mojobreak.com and use it now. We ship all cards. So everybody's going to get a great amount of cards. The code is Chrome. Easy to remember. Just go on the site, find a team you like, put in your cart, use Chrome, 15% off. Some of the teams are already discounted. So great deals on Chrome. And that's going to lead us right into this week in the Hobby.
Again, that's only on PYTs. Not on...
It may work for something.
It may. Okay.
It may.
All right.
I don't want to say that. But
Yeah,
you may try. You may try. You may get one
try
over.
and see what happens.
You might.
Yeah, all right.
Keep that in mind when you price out randoms. But that's the business behind the business.
Let me bump that little up right now.
But yes, it only work on PYTs. But let's go right into talking about Topps Chrome. I know Cody just did a great baseball podcast talking about Topps Chrome. But what are you seeing when you're looking at this checklist? I mean, what stands out? Obviously, the big names Julio and Wander. But what other rookies do you think people can kind of gravitate towards in this set and chase?
I feel like we're all forgetting Bobby Witt right now. And I know he's on the Royals, and I know the Royals stink, but... And Bobby Witt has admittedly had some defensive problems this year. Probably not going to be a shortstop for long. Probably going to move over to third base. But he's got 20 homers. He's got 20 stolen bases. I know everyone's talking J-Rod, and rightfully so. He's incredible. But we have another 2020 rookie right now. It's tough because the Mariners are such an up-and-up team. There's so much positivity in Seattle about them. Might finally be going to the playoffs for the first time in 20 years. KC has been a directionless team since they won the World Series in 2015. That was a long time ago, it feels like, at this point. But Bobby Witt is a legit star-type player, and I do feel like we are kind of he is a little bit of an afterthought right now with Julio, with Wander even, who Wander's now back and healthy. But, yeah, don't forget that old Bobby Witt is sitting right there.
Now, is there somebody, I know he's easily in the top 5 of chaseable rookies in this one. Is there some guy that's maybe not on people's radar that, you may be wanting to collect out of the checklist? And it's a big checklist, guys. There's 102 rookie autos. So there's a lot of guys in the checklist, and there's probably some guys that are going to be hot next year that nobody's even thinking about.
Yeah, I mean, I'm glad they included, I know he's a pitcher, but Spencer Strider's having such a good year for the Atlanta Braves. Really, really good. C.J. Abrams in there. Not really an unknown name, but since he got called up by the Nationals, since the Soto trade, has been really, really good defensively. He's just got to figure it out at the plate. But overall, I know that I think there has been a little bit of talk of where's Seiya Suzuki, where's Steven Kwan, where are these rookies that have been on Major League rosters since opening day, it should be mentioned.
Yep.
But I think overall, compared to the years past, this is a really strong rookie class for collectors. I have to take another look. I can't think off the top of my head of some other deep cut rookies. But I think it is a really good, really strong rookie
Probably
class
probably better than 20 and 2021, right?
Easily.
19 obviously had Tatis and Vlad and Alonso. So
and I'm assuming Abrams is on a Padres uni, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he'd be in the Padres in this set. Yeah.
And I do like the design. I mean, you can see that Wander here on the screen. It's a clean design, and that's what I was trying to make the point last week when I was anti-2023 design, which I may come around. Who knows? But where are you going to sign on that card? I mean, halfway through the card. But see, this design leans really well to where the auto is going to be placed.
I think they'll figure it out.
They might.
The card is the same size.
It is, but the auto is going to be placed a little bit higher, so it's aesthetically going to look nice. I don't know. I got to see.
Man, okay. Well,
that's card snob. I'm like a wine card snob.
The Chrome, same as Series 1 and Series 2. It's got borders. I like it. It's going to have color. It's gonna be good. I do like the fact there's 102.
You really put a lot of thought into that
man,
one.
Absolutely. Because it's not like this is the first time we've ever seen Topps Chrome.
Dude,
actually,
exciting.
It's not the first time we've talked about Topps Chrome on this show. Probably 10 years of Topps Chrome easily that we've talked about. Yeah, we're reinventing the wheel. It looks like I've never seen anything quite like it, Doug.
And actually, Topps Chrome is they've switched. Bowman Chrome's been HTA. They've had vending. Topps Chrome has never changed. It's been hobby and it's been Jumbo. I mean, they didn't always have Jumbo.
Jumbo's new. It used to be Remember when it was just hobby?
Yeah, but
Rabbit?
new from like what, like 14? I mean, so it's been like almost 10 years of having Jumbo and Chrome.
That's new. That's new to us.
New is, I guess, Sapphire, which, you know, that's another.
And there probably will be a Topps Chrome Sapphire.
There will, 100%. Now, Sapphire seems to be like, I know, you know, F1 does well, but like, I feel like Sapphire was the offering in the parallel era, and like we're kind of past that now in a sense. Like, we'll see what Sapphire does.
I mean, do think the Sapphire design does look really good.
It does, but
I don't know if it's ever going to truly catch on because, again, you're right. It's like we may have passed that parallel era of collecting,
but it feels like the Sapphire brand or the specific SKU in parallel does well with like not just baseball but like off-brand stuff.
You want different
like
configurations?
Star Wars and stuff like that.
Like it seems like Sapphire is a very popular parallel to get for these other besides non-baseball.
Sapphire Jumbo coming out.
But
could be
there. And then if I recall, there was the 1 year. So they started Sapphire when it was blue refractor ice,
atomic,
and then 1 year atomic, and then the year after it wasn't blue anymore.
No.
There was 1 year where it wasn't blue. It was just called Sapphire.
Yeah.
But it was just an atomic, like, and you could get different color parallels.
Yeah.
Which was weird. And then they came to their senses and went back to blue.
But would you rather have the refractor or the Sapphire base? You know what I mean? I think I'd rather have the refractor, personally.
I actually think maybe for like the monetary value, the regular refractor. But but
I don't think they perform as much as the Sapphire.
For the look,
I don't think so.
For the look, I'm going Sapphire. Atomic, man. It's like it's their version. It's their version of Panini's. You know,
cracked ice.
Well,
what have we had Sapphire for like 4 years? We've had Sapphire for 4 years. I don't think they had it in 18, right? I know 19 they had it.
The first year they did Sapphire felt like it was like something like that around that time.
Yeah, so it's become a staple now.
19 maybe. It's definitely.
I know there's definitely Tatis Sapphires for sure. So I know. I just can't remember 18 going back to 18 if there was Ohtani.
And I think we've done. I mean, Sapphire has been like Bowman Draft,
Topps Chrome, Update Chrome Sapphire,
Update Chrome,
Bowman Chrome.
They didn't do Bowman Chrome Sapphire, did they?
Yeah.
Well, so now it's Sapphire everything.
Right. So they take that whole set and they do it all Sapphire. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying is, I mean, you kind of, I like Sapphire too, but like I like refractors. So it's like at some point we're kind of muddling it up, but you know, you're safe buying the Topps Chrome regular release, I feel, as far as in terms of long-term value, because that is the flagship. That ain't going anywhere. I think Sapphire would go first.
I do like the idea of cutting some of the rookie autos out. I think last year we had like 120, which seemed like too much.
Yeah.
I think hovering around that 100 subjects.
Yeah, 107 to be precise.
Okay.
I think it's too much still.
It's too much. I'd like to see like
60 to 80?
No, I mean, I think 100 max, but maybe 80.
But some of these guys didn't even play. I mean, like...
Yeah, there's a few names in there. I just kind of double checked the list right now. A couple of guys that kind of jumped out at me. One, kind of to your point, a guy that hasn't played much. He did get into the major leagues this year. Royce Lewis, big prospect name, is out the entire year with injury. Has been out since like end of May.
Yep.
But his auto is in here. Elliot Ramos for the Giants. His rookie auto is in here, and he's played maybe 10, 15 games.
How much does Sammy Long play? I should know this, but I don't.
He's been up enough that I feel like it's not that crazy that he's getting a rookie card. But again, when you're, I feel for Cubs and Guardians fans who are like, I've literally had this rookie on. I've been circling the calendar, because they've been on the opening day roster. The Seiya Suzuki one is weird to me. I know he signed super late, and with the lockout and all that, like Topps wanted to wait. I'm assuming he's gonna be an update Chrome, but we haven't even gotten a base rookie card of Seiya Suzuki to this point. So
he has an autograph in the set?
No auto. There's nothing. There is nothing of Seiya Suzuki.
I mean, unless they printed this well before the start of the season.
Do they hold him out for Bowman, like 2023 Bowman?
I think he's a guy
and like have it like a rookie.
I mean, he
like
was
a rookie auto in Bowman.
He was a pretty hyped name when he got signed by the Cubs. It's just very strange that they're holding out. He's a Cubs rookie, and they've had in Topps now. They've had rookie cards of Seiya Suzuki in Topps now. So I don't really know what the holdup is at this point. I'm assuming we're going to see him in Update Chrome, but
I know. Shout out to Ivan. I know he's been asking on Twitter for
Where's
a
Seiya?
long time.
Where is Seiya?
And especially after losing pretty much everybody on your team, and then you have somebody to look forward to, and then you can't even get a card of them.
Yeah.
So
I will say a few other names that jumped out to me. Alec Thomas of the Diamondbacks. His auto is in here. He's been pretty good since he got called up. Diamondbacks in general are just like one of the hottest teams in baseball right now. If you hadn't been paying attention, it's kind of strange. Bryson Stott of the Phillies, his auto's in here. Big prospect name. That might be a guy that I think a lot of people are going to go after. Hunter Green, I also think is going to be a really interesting one. It's the first time we're seeing him. Could he be? I feel like for pitchers,
is he a pitcher now?
He is. He is officially a pitcher. He's been up almost the whole season. A wild year. Like at times looks like, oh man, this guy's gonna just dominate the league, hitting 101 on the radar gun, but also is giving up 5-6 runs a game and walking a lot of guys. He is a wild thing for
Unpolished,
sure. Yeah, super raw. But I think he's a guy that could buck the trend of pitchers. I think the fact that you have him, you have Spencer Strider, you have George Kirby, on top of already a very strong hitter class. I think it could bump up some of those pitchers because all three of those pitchers I mentioned, especially Kirby and Strider, are those guys Rookie of the Year contenders for sure.
And we do actually have a special price at mojobreakshop.com for jumbo at $5.99 now, guys. If you want to get a jumbo box at mojobreakshop.com, you don't want to get into a break. You just want a box to yourself, and maybe even a scenario where you buy it and you hold on to it. I mean, if you think Julio Rodriguez is going to be the next whoever, the next big name in baseball, might be a situation where you buy a box and sit on it for a little bit. Yeah. Don't open it. I know that's hard to do. I don't know who can actually have it. You'd have to put it in your storage or something. But if it's if it's right in front of your face,
it's
going to be ripping that.
Really hard to hit some Julio in this product. So
that's going to make his cards command a premium.
They should. If you hit one, you should hold out for a premium because they're going to be short printed.
Yeah.
Even some of his Bowman Best like autos were going for. I was bidding on one last night. It was like $800-900 for a Bowman's Best auto. So there's definitely a lot of hype around him. It's great timing.
He's the new wave.
He's the guy.
He's the guy that everybody is like, he's the next greatest to ever do it.
25 homers, 25 stolen bases. I think they said like the
How many home runs does Aaron Judge have now?
57.
Okay.
57.
He only needs, 4 more?
To break
the American League record.
American League record.
American League record.
I don't know what that
Maris.
record's all about, but...
So
well, and I actually hope. I'm sorry. It's good for baseball for him to get past that, but I just know the narrative. I'm a Bonds guy, and I know the narrative. If he beats Maris, then he's going to be the new home run king. The Bonds and the Sosa and the McGuire records don't matter.
No PEDs.
What if Bonds or McGuire were
Come back?
on the Yankees?
Then it would be a different. Well, it's still if it was PEDs, there'd be like it doesn't count.
Jason Giambi was a Yankee. He didn't get it. But I will say,
A-Rod.
Well, there's been a really, really good debate on Twitter regarding Aaron Judge and Shohei Ohtani and who is going to be the AL MVP. Ohtani's doing something that we've never seen it.
Ever.
Again, like every year, Ohtani's doing something that we've never seen in the history of baseball. Then you may have Aaron Judge be the all-time home run leader in the AL. I'm not going to say
no.
I think it's clearly Judge just because the team is winning. The team, his contributions are attributing to wins in the category. They're the number one team.
Well,
in the AL.
if the Angels can get some help around Ohtani, then the same thing.
Trout's second in the league in home runs.
Well, it can't. Team is more than two people.
So did you know? I've been saying this to me. What's almost as remarkable as what Ohtani and Judge are doing. That Trout is about 20 home runs behind in second place for home runs with I think 34-35, and he's only played 100 games. He's gonna miss like 50 games of the season and finish second in the league in home runs. And the Angels just, by the way, clinched their seventh.
Those American League balls
season.
Might be juiced.
Bro,
that's right.
In baseball, I don't get it. You got like two outstanding players, the Angels, and they can't even walk into the playoffs.
If you look at the rest of that lineup, it's Trout, Ohtani, and then just a bag of chips and some spare parts. Basically.
Well, Anthony Rendon was.
He's hurt. If he was in the lineup, I would not say that, but he's hurt.
An expensive bag of chips.
Again, he's not the bag of chips in this scenario. Unfortunately, our good friend Matt Duffy, former Giant, is unfortunately
he's on their team.
Yeah, if he's a bag of chips, like he's like a solid like
Man,
kennel
that
check,
is
you
a
know?
good trivia question. I would have never thought Matt Duffy was
That's
in
right.
the league, let alone is he starting for the Angels?
He is the starting second baseman for the Angels. I feel like that should kind of tell you why. I love Matt Duffy. Love Scooter the cat. Or was that the cat's name? I don't remember. The big old cat. You guys remember that?
I think you're making stuff up.
I'm not. He had a humongous cat. That's all I'm going to say.
Do they have Pedro Feliz at third base too? Or?
Yep. Pete Happy is the third baseman.
And Brian Bocock shortstop.
Darren, a 57-year-old Darren Erstad is still manning center. Is in left field.
That's awesome.
And they are definitely out of it. I think they're in third place.
Well, I was saying
today
they actually clinched their 7th straight losing season, which is the longest streak in
and
all
they
baseball.
and they fired Madden
Fired Joe Madden
early in the season.
after they had lost about 14 straight at that point. He came to the ballpark sporting a mohawk to try to rally the troops. Sorry, Joe. Can you come into the office with that fresh mohawk? You're fired.
What if he just went home and shaved it?
Dude, to me, and I know I'm probably might get flamed by baseball collectors and stuff, but to me, it's like to like compare it to basketball. Like if LeBron James never won anything, but his cards are the craziest price. Because during the regular season, he has good stats or whatever, but he never won like an MVP or like he never won a not an MVP. But
right now with Ohtani and Trout, it's like having LeBron and Curry on the same team, and then they're just not winning.
Is Trout the equivalent of like Russell Westbrook?
No. I don't know.
Like his cards are so expensive.
I know.
If he's anyone, and I know he's not as last year, he kind of fell off a little bit, but he's still a good player. James Harden, a guy who's an MVP caliber guy at his peak. Say what you want about the style of his game, but at James Harden's peak, one of the top 2 or 3 players in all of basketball at his peak, and just can't put it together.
He's like Damian. Trout's like Damian Lillard.
It's
better than that.
It depends on how you look at Harden. Like I get it. Like Harden was a very like great offensive player.
It's not a perfect comparison.
Yeah, but like, dude, his Trout's like it's like that. It's like Trout, LeBron. Like their prices are like.
If Trout is anyone, he's Dan Marino. That's what he is.
True.
Racking up stats, setting new records.
But Dan Marino went to the Super Bowl.
He did.
Trout has
and I
played
get it.
one game.
Yeah. I get it.
Game.
Baseball, like the
Dan Marino was in a lot of playoff games too.
He
like,
was. So again, not a perfect.
Yeah, I know. I get it. Like baseball, World Series wins don't count as much in baseball. Like it really doesn't add to a player's.
It doesn't hurt though.
It doesn't
I
hurt.
will tell you, it definitely is a crutch. When you're talking about that certain player and they haven't won, it seems like it's more important that they haven't won than other players who have won.
But it is true that we kind of pick and choose which players that affects in the hobby. Like I would argue, Jeter does not have nearly the value that he has in trading cards if he's not
because he can't stop signing.
Yeah, that's
He's
there's
just
that.
running around. He's like, I'll sign everything.
Another Jeter event.
But if he does not have a single World Series championship, he is basically. I'm gonna get flamed.
Robbie Thompson.
He's Harold Baines. He's Ryan Sandberg. Like that's what it is. Like it's nice, but okay.
That's the captain, man. That's the captain.
He won 5 championships. So it's not that. I just want to be clear. Sorry, Yankee fans, don't hate me.
Does Derek Jeter sign more than Trout? I don't feel like it. I feel like they signed the same amount.
Well, when Trout retires, I don't know. He's gonna be signing a lot.
You know, there's gonna be like the Trout collection.
The Trout transcendent parties that come out every year.
There will be. We will get a Trout. What we got with Jeter. We're getting a Trout.
I feel like
10 years from now.
doing a lot of baseball breaks, obviously throughout the year.
There's already been a Trout transcendent,
right?
Yeah, there has.
But I could
not
see
by himself.
But I could see there being a Trout release.
It's all Trouts
every year. All
easily,
Trouts.
easily. But I was saying like the amount of baseball breaks that I do, I feel like I hit them the same amount from various products.
Yeah.
Well, Trout.
Well, he'll sign like 20 or 30 autos.
He's in every. But and I mean he's in everything, right? I don't know if there is a product in the last like decade that he hasn't been. He may have been redemptions in it, but he's been pretty much in everything. And you talk about like flagship all the way up to like the highest end product you can find. He's in them all.
And that's actually what's great about it, because if you have a bad Bowman Chrome release, you're like, well, you can hit a Trout. You know, I mean, how many times has that been said in the shop? Like, oh yeah, who's in this? Oh, there's not a lot of great prospects, but you can hit a Trout.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean that's always been a good thing. It's actually amazing his market's still pretty high on all those too.
It's actually the only. It's one of those phrases that you say a lot. Like,
well, you can hit a
right.
trout.
I mean, you can hit a trout.
Imagine you being able to hit a LeBron auto in like a hoops.
I know,
or
exactly, right? Yeah, and he never Trout's very rarely a redemption as well.
That boy signed.
It seems like he was a redemption 5, 6, 7 years ago more than he is now.
Now he's
Well,
signed.
because he signed the deal with Topps, so it's like, lifetime deal, and I'm sure that
Lifetime deal, every product.
that's right, every single product.
I mean, I would like. I think it's too late now. But when our next group of superstars that we have come up, maybe we don't put them in every release. Maybe we do hold them back. Let's do this little scarcity thing that like actually adds value to the auto, because Trout does sell for a lot more than he probably should based on how many autos and how many sets he's in.
That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like I hit the same amount of Trouts that I hit Jeter in every product. But Trout obviously sells for more than Jeter. But I always hold those two guys, like when I hit either of those two guys, then I feel like or Jeter, Trout, and Griffey. Like when I hit those three, I feel like I got a big baseball hit.
Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with them putting him in there if he's still playing. I feel like the retired guys, some of the retired guys are just worn out. I think once you retire, you should be skipped.
Who do you,
for a
Jose
couple
Canseco?
releases. Oh, Jose.
Oh, I love his auto. Yeah, let's go.
McGuire.
doesn't
But they be putting
McGuire
him on
doesn't
St.
sign
Louis
Rod
sometimes.
Carew.
It's terrible.
Like,
I don't know why you put McGuire
John
on St.
Smoltz.
Louis.
John Smoltz,
Terrible.
Maddox. I mean, all these
Maddox.
guys sign a lot. You see them in every Transcendence.
Aforementioned Ryan Sandberg. I feel like I pull Ryan Sandberg more than any other
Yep.
former Hall of Fame guy. Yeah.
Sandberg. What Hall of Fame guy do I pull the most of?
I mean,
Dawson.
Canseco.
Yeah.
Canseco is
Canseco.
like
He signs a lot.
Canseco's in everything.
And he's in archives too. But
Well, there's one guy. He's not a Hall of Fame guy, and it's not out of baseball products, but a lot of Pete Rose. A lot of Pete Rose.
a lot of Leaf Pete Rose out there too.
Yo, yeah.
well, you could buy there at one point. I remember, which is probably a great deal now. There was the Pete Rose blasters that were in Target, and it was a guaranteed auto for $20. So there was a couple base cards and one guaranteed auto of Pete Rose for $20.
I mean, you couldn't go get Pete Rose to sign a baseball card in Vegas for $20,
Right?
True.
Well,
maybe 30, but
yeah, right. Blackjack chip or two.
Chip in for a bet on the ponies, you know. Yeah. Then it's like, now we're talking.
you want to go hang out at the sports book?
Oh, he would.
Well,
Oh, yeah.
Well, we alluded to some basketball talk, and let's talk Skybox Metal Universe, which is a multi-sport product, but highlighted by two key players in here. One really key player, Michael Jordan, being not only an auto to chase, but PMGs are back. And as you know, the PMGs really are crazy in this hobby, and they're very coveted.
Extremely
hard
crazy.
to grade. And the retro PMGs that are in this set, what they did is they did the same thing that they did back in the day, where there's 100 of them. The first 10 are green, and the last 90 are red. The reds are worth a lot too.
Well, if you look at the checklist, and Chris brought this up to me, one of our customers, there's other colored PMGs,
But not in the retro version.
not in the retro.
Right. So the inserts, they have a green to 10, only to 10. They have a purple 101. They have, I think, red to 100, and they have all the different colors. But those are the Jordan on the screen is the retro one. So
How many
those
names on the
only
retro
have the
list?
true. I'm not sure if we want to pull that up, but they have only the true. They only have 100 of them.
Okay,
So there's
great.
base, and then there's 100, and
Okay.
90 of them are red, and 10 of
Yeah,
them are green.
great.
That's going to be the ones.
That's what I like to hear, because I was like, oh god, like all these, like there's like 5 different PMG parallels if you look at the checklist.
Yeah, there was some insert set that he pulled that was like number to 75. It was one of the colored PMGs,
Okay.
but it wasn't the original. I didn't see him pull a retro PMG. We know Michael Jordan's on the checklist. We know LeBron's on that checklist, I believe, for PMGs. Gretzky.
Well, if you get the Jordan, one of the 100 PMGs, that's could be one of the biggest hits of the year.
Do we think it's a 6-figure card?
I'm not gonna say it's a 6-figure card, but I know.
Let's just start with the greens, right?
Oh.
The number to 10s.
Yes.
That's a 6-figure card.
Yes.
In a Scottie Pippen jersey.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Because I was around when they did the last round of PMGs, which was 2012 and 2013. They did 2 years of a product called Fleer Retro.
Yep.
Yep, I remember that.
Huge. 12-13 was huge.
Yeah, it went to like $2,500 a box.
Wasn't as huge.
Right.
Like, it actually went down for a little bit. But if you try to look up those boxes now, they're nearly 10 grand a box.
I remember them sitting on GTSs. Like, I mean, they were pricey, but GTS, I had them for a long time.
They did.
It was readily available if you wanted to spend the money.
And if you try to buy those ones of LeBron, and those were there in college uniform in St. Vincent Mary, like, you know, LeBron's high school uniforms. So those are like still pretty sought after. So this release specifically. Those PMGs, I don't know. Does LeBron have a PMG or is it just Jordan?
I don't know. I know obviously
I'm looking right
he has a
now.
jambalaya, of course.
I know he has a jambalaya in street clothes. But
So you want to look at the retro PMG checklist. Mm-hmm. So it'd be the 97 and 98. I know he's just wearing the white shirt. At least they got a picture of Michael Jordan, not old, and in a basketball uniform.
Yeah.
I applaud them for that.
I respect that. Regardless,
It blows my mind that, I mean, an unlicensed product, parallels, non-autos, are going to sell for as much as you're talking about, six figures. I mean,
yeah. Kudos to Upper Deck for creating.
no,
this
I
brand,
mean, yeah,
you know?
I'm all about it. I think it's great, but it's crazy. It's nuts.
I mean, if you think about it, it was the hobby that, you know,
I
it's
mean,
always
we are riding. PMG's got. I mean, it's like they were always very, very popular. But it wasn't until like, I would say 2 years ago, like people really started going back and like really trying to find PMGs.
Well,
and I think this is coming out at the perfect time because you couldn't, unless you went back and got some of that older products, you couldn't get any PMGs. Now this is the first like modern day PMG you can get.
like, and you got to think, when is the next time they're gonna do this? Like they take it was 13, 14 since they did it the last time.
Yeah, I mean,
and it's not like
depends
you would
on,
think
depends
you would,
on how well it does. I
no,
mean,
because I mean they were doing pretty well with putting out Jordan and LeBron products still even back in 2013-14, but they just stopped. They just like completely stopped. So
I'm trying to look up some data on some of the older PMGs if I could pull it up on our friends at
From what
Carlisle.
I can find, yeah, LeBron's in here as PMG.
oh wow, okay, but it's street clothes.
So a 97, this is a recent sale, 97-98, which is the one you want. Red PMG Michael Jordan, so 79 of 100. So if it was green, it would be under 10. And it goes by the serial number. So the serial number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 are
be green.
And then 11 through 100 are red. So BGS 7 sold for $450,000.
7.
Of a red Jordan PMG.
Yeah, and
I didn't see the K after that.
I remember
Also, $450 is not that expensive.
when the 12,
But I didn't see that.
when the 12-13 Fleer Retro came out in 2012, I was blown away because those prices were crazy for the times. Like those Jordan.
Well, didn't they also have 13-14 Fleer Retro?
Yes, they did, and that's the one I just said. Like that one actually went down in price.
And that had Giannis.
Yeah, they had a Giannis, and that actually went down in price, and it didn't go back up until Giannis blew up.
Oh yeah, he was in. So did he had PMGs? Does he have PMGs in there?
I believe.
And I remember the year before had Draymond.
I want to say. I want to say.
too,
Curry, I want to say
13.
13-14. Curry may have had PMGs.
Yeah. If you guys want the list, I've got the retro list in front of me right now. Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson, Coco Gauff, Zach Wilson, Colin Morikawa, Chloe Kim, Scotty Barnes is in there, Jonathan Kuminga, Justin Fields, Naomi Osaka, Josh Giddey, Franz Wagner, Wayne Gretzky, Ken Griffey Jr. I think I saw Griffey actually pulled already, a red Griffey PMG pulled. Tiger Woods is probably going to be a huge one. Trevor Lawrence. Who else we got?
And this is the retro.
This is
subset.
a retro. This
So
is
the one
retro.
on the left side.
Yeah.
What-
Trey Lance, Mac Jones.
How many
Jalen Green.
how many boxes is it going to take to get one of these retro?
Yeah.
And how many are on the subject? Does it show you how many actual PMG retro cards? How many number of those?
I believe there are 50.
Okay.
50 of them in this.
So there's only 50 times 100.
Yeah, and of course LeBron in here as well as in there for the retro PMG.
So 5,000.
Yeah, 5,000 of them out there.
So one per case.
no.
5,000.
Maybe more than 5,000
5,000.
cases.
5. Well,
Maybe a master case.
that was master case.
But they also, I believe it's coming to EPAC as well. So I don't know.
One in every 5 cases?
It's gonna be tough.
100 cases?
I believe it's 1 in 5 is what I'm saying.
1 in 5?
Yeah, 1 in 5.
But it makes sense because when
But
people love these cards,
but there's other PMGs in there.
Yes.
Those are the numbered ones.
Yeah.
that are not the Fleer. That are not the retro set.
What is that one highlighted by? What's that one called? I believe it's called the.
I think it's just base PMG is what it's called, but I have to double check.
I think it's on the right side of that checklist. If you're on Cardboard Connection, it's on the right side. That kind of highlights.
I'll have to look. I was on.
I need to see this jambalaya in person because I love the original jambalaya insert die cuts.
Yeah.
But I got to see this in person because like these guys are in their street clothes in this product. So I got to see if it looks still as nice as the 90s insert.
Well, let's
just them in pro uniforms.
Let's talk theoretically, right? So we just saw that Jordan Red sold for $450,000 from the 97-98.
Yeah.
So what does a Jordan Red from this sell for? What's your prediction?
5 to 10.
Yeah.
$1,000?
Yeah.
Okay. You think it's that significantly down?
Yeah. I maybe 10 grand.
Because like I was just mentioning before,
then what does a green sell for? 100, just over 100?
I would say like close to
80.
6, close to 100.
80.
I think you guys.
I'm not gonna say exactly 100, but I think it's gonna get close.
I'm saying 50,000 for a red, and I'm saying like $500,000.
50 for a red.
Wow.
Yeah. For
I think-
green.
Okay.
I think you're high.
Maybe my 5 to 10 is low. I will agree with that. But I don't know if it's gonna hit 50, man.
Because you got to figure there's 50 guys on the checklist. You got to hit the Jordan. It's 1 in 5 cases.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
If 5 cases times, if it's probably a Jordan, and what's that? 1 in 250 cases, you get a Jordan.
Yeah. Okay.
That's my prediction. But yes, he's not in a Bulls uni.
5 to 10 is okay. My 5 to 10, my prediction is low. I'm not sure if it's gonna hit 50 though. I'll go in the middle, like more like 20 something.
And then what I do like about it, if you go on Cardboard Connection, they have the actual, and I'm sure this is on Upper Deck too. They have the odds of the autos. So Michael Jordan, I think, is like 1 in 29,000 packs to get a Michael Jordan auto.
So if you're saying a green goes for $500,000, you can buy a 97-98 Skybox original with him in his Bulls jersey.
No, you can't. I just showed you a red.
450. I know. I'm
talking about green.
I'm saying you can get a red for the same price as what you're saying the green can go. What would you prefer? I'd prefer the red of him in the Bulls uni than a green and him in the Scottie Pippen uni. I mean,
300,000 then.
Okay.
Go a little down.
I agree. I would rather have the original red. But the thing about the greens is that, boy, like the original ones never pop. Obviously, there's only they literally never pop
I think the
up.
greens can go. I think it can hit close to 100,000, but I think if anybody's willing to spend that type of money,
dude, the greens never pop up. Ever pop up.
I'm trying to see if there's any greens. Look, yeah, just even a.
I think it's. I want to say it's.
Probably looking
It's.
at a
I think.
marble
I want to say it's well over.
Look at this. This is a Tim. Let's see if Cody guess that price.
All right. I'm in, finally.
97-98, so the year you want. Precious Metal Gems, Tim Hardaway. Graded 7, pop 2. Tim Hardaway, late in his career on the Heat. What do you think it sold for?
Oh, my God. Tim Hardaway? Late. Oh, God. I feel like
Green PMG to 10.
It's a green PMG.
And these obviously do not grade well. I'm
They do
curious.
not.
I'm curious to see if the new ones
do,
grade
yeah.
better.
I don't know. See, I'm way off. I'll probably be way off base here, but I'll say, I don't know, 70K?
Oh, well,
Is that
you're a little
crazy?
high.
A little high?
28,000.
28K, okay.
28K for Tim Hardaway. 81,000 for Tim Duncan.
That's one of those.
Okay, that makes way more sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
I was like, I wasn't sure exactly where the market was on that.
There really is no wrong answer with the guess on that one.
No.
It could be anywhere.
There isn't, 100%. But that just goes to show you that Tim Hardaway, on the almost the end
That's
of his
insane.
career,
Yeah.
$28,000, but just because it's green. I want to know how much those boxes. I mean, does anybody know? Comment below on the video if you bought boxes of that 97-98. I mean, they had to be like only a couple $100, right?
I think it was probably like 120, 150 bucks, maybe $100.
God.
No more than 100, 150. Yeah.
No, it's got to be right. And greens are probably really hard to hit, but you're probably getting a red in every box, right? I mean,
Just to think, could have just been going out.
Wait, is Steph Curry on the
buying
checklist? You
boxes.
said
No Steph.
I would love to have a Steph
No
PMG.
Steph. No Steph.
I know he was in the 12-13 Flair Retro or 13-14.
Really?
Yeah.
He had PMGs in that?
I don't know if he had PMGs, but he was on the checklist of that product.
Wow.
I mean, it's a really good. There's a few weak cards, but I'd say more than half of these are like really good subjects.
That's the reason,
for the
like,
PMGs.
I mean, the sticker price on those boxes are shocking, but when you understand how sought after those PMGs are,
no kidding.
then you start to understand, like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense.
Yeah, and I know Greg actually, it sounded like he hit a PMG of something. I heard PMG yelling in the other room, so we'll have to find that out after the show what he hit. But, like, I know this morning he hit 2 non-retro PMGs in a box.
Yeah.
Numbered ones.
Yeah,
So-
I believe there's 150 of the non-retro, 50 of the retro.
Okay. That makes sense. All right, last topic of this week in the hobby. We've got more grading companies. That's what we need. We need more grading companies. Derek Jeter throws his company into the hat. Also teamed up with a guy that owns the Honest Company, and I believe another investor in the mix from another company.
Say the Honest Company?
Yes,
Or the
not Jessica Alba, but her partner is invested into
their stock has not done well.
Okay. Well, they moved some of that money into the Arena Club.
Probably a good move.
Yeah, no, the CEO of this company is the co-founder and former CEO of LegalZoom and also of Honest.
Got you. Okay, so it's the same guy had investments.
As I
involved.
looked at the board and the people a part of it, I went, not a single person here. I mean, maybe I need to dig a little deeper. Not a single person had card experience. No experience in this world. So they kind of needed to get a guy like Derek Jeter to give him some sort of credibility. That's what I'm imagining.
And is this Arena?
Arena. Yep. And this is
Club.
a kind of a look at their slabs there. Instant reaction from you too. I mean, Cody already saw.
Okay, so the 2 grading on the top, it looks better than SGC.
Does it though?
Just the numbering part. Just the numbering part.
The
way they have the numbers.
The case looks different. Looks like it has like
But
a
everything
weird,
else, I
looks like
dislike.
it has like a weird lip on the top.
It's rounded more so like your CSGs.
Because the CSG, like, I do not like when they have the card grade and the auto grade next to each other. I think
yeah.
it looks
We have,
Well, that's what they did too.
We've gone into like
The 90s?
The 90s.
Yeah.
Like where I should bring in some of my old slabs. It's just a bunch of companies that you've never even heard of that were just grading cards. We are there. Like we've done it. We've made it.
But with a lot more money invested in these companies.
Better looking slabs, I guess.
Well,
I mean,
you would hope so.
Yeah,
From the
but,
90s.
I also hate. I also really. I'm not gonna say hate. I really strongly dislike their logo.
What
Who?
Arena logo.
Really?
what are we doing with all these new grading companies that's separating them from the pack? Like
It doesn't seem
it
like
doesn't.
anything.
It's just like, what are you guys doing different? Our labels. Okay.
I think their big thing is going to be because we don't see the back here.
Is Derek Jeter single-handedly
Derek Jeter-
is he the one grading the cards?
Yeah.
Correct.
Is he
This
on the assembly line?
gonna deliver
Inspired
me.
by Master P grading, Derek Jeter will grade your cards
And he
personally.
signs the back of it.
Yeah, that's right.
I mean, yeah. I don't.
They
I don't know.
they have the QR code on the back that I know, Doug, at the Burbank show you ran into a grader, a grading company, tag grading company that was doing sort of that's doing the same thing where you scan it and suddenly you get all your info on the card, which is a cool thing, but it also kind of feels like, okay, so they're doing this, but then like probably Beckett and PSA are going to do it. And then it's like, then what's the point of these guys?
Hey man, let me
know?
tell you something about them QR codes. One of our customer, Duck, he made me a 6.5 Conrad slab 2 years ago. It had a QR code on the back that goes directly to my social media account.
Dude, ahead of the game.
Head of the game.
Shout out to Duck. He's ahead of the game.
Way ahead of the game.
6.5.
Yeah. I mean, what do we? When are we gonna not see new?
I mean,
grading companies is what
I feel bad for people that are getting in the hobby and then like they've been told that this is good, but then maybe there's a segment of friends that are only grading this way, and it's like that it'll also allows other companies that aren't backed by Jeter to like Mamba grading to come in and like, well, you know, they look legit too. Like it's just a lot of customer confusion.
There is, and doing the show circuit now, and you've been doing a handful of shows. Like you look at showcases, and you're seeing a lot of these like
HGA
is like almost in
God.
everybody's case, and I'm like, I get it. It is encased. It's encapsulated, but like, you can't really think that that's adding value to the card, right? Like, you just at that point, you just want to break it out and sell it raw.
It's almost to the point of the people, because I've been, like ever since I've been back in the hobby and starting 2012, there's always been a group of people in the hobby that are like, grading is dumb. Like, we just give me the raw card. Like, I like my cards. Like, I don't. Grading is just
that apparently is not the clientele that these people are going after. But the clientele that, I mean, what they're seeing is the top dogs in the industry, PSA and Beckett, are so backlogged still that it just opened up the floodgates for everybody to essentially do the same exact thing.
Well, you're basically
with really no checks and balances.
You're offering a service and you're making X amount of dollars per service you do.
And there's just a mass of clientele just begging for this service. So that's why you see so many of these grading companies popping up. But in 10 years, unfortunately, there's probably only going to be Beckett and PSA.
What I think is happening is that it's all these backlogs of people who got in the hobby and didn't know, like, you probably should sell, where I think we talked about it, where it's like, don't send this card, like, 75% of your collection. You don't need to send it all in to go get graded. You just don't. No. So, but instead of maybe people learning, okay, maybe I'll just hold those things and really save, like, the
dude, in 2020, you send all your cards in and it just comes back with just like a suitcase full of money.
That's true.
Because you were just every time you went and got, no matter what you had, if it came back and it was graded, it was worth 5 times more than what it was before you sent it.
Right. But you can make the argument it's because it has that PSA, that BGS label, these reputable grading company labels, but now it's going to have Arena, HGA, all these things where you're like, who are you? What are you doing?
Is this Knox?
Yeah, what is Knox? Explain it. I know you
So
did some...
that's kind of its own
I
thing.
feel like we're not doing our due diligence. The slide's there, and we're about ready to move on. There's Knox here. I'm like, there's talk about him.
I was gonna, and I'll let you get to that, but Beyonce is no. I'm kidding. The Arena Club with Derek Jeter attached to it. I feel like there could be a play with Fanatics here too. I just wanted to mention that.
That's the thing is like you're right. What we're saying right now is like we're like, why is this here? What's it doing? None of it will matter if one of the big players says, "Oh yeah, the whole reason Jeter's here is because he's going to partner with Fanatics." Or
I'm still with the belief that Fanatics is gonna go with CSG, the one that grades the eBay, does the eBay.
Yeah, but I think you're trying to crack into eBay now, where if they have something like this, it might be cheaper.
You don't think they would go after the big, like one of the big two?
Probably. They got to get stuff at a reasonable price, right? They got to partner.
You know that
you
can get Beckett at a a good
I think
cheaper than PSA,
my vote is CSG is the one.
I think you go. We talked about, it wasn't that long ago, you talk about Beckett, and they were the industry standard for modern grading. And it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
It was like 3, 4, 5 years ago. Like, if you had a modern card, you sent it to one grading company. You sent it to Beckett. Beckett still is a really, really good name in the grading industry. And definitely cheaper than PSA.
It still has the best slab.
Yeah, I think it was just there was a moment in time during the Pandy that the PSA, it was easier to get 10s than it was to get 9.5s at Beckett.
Look what you got right there. That Buster Posey. That's a Beckett slab.
It's a black label, yeah.
And I think we had a whole segment, maybe a whole show about slabs.
We did.
And that is the best looking one.
No, I don't. I disagree. I used to be Team Beckett, but I am Team PSA now. But maybe we should move on to Knox.
Yeah. Well, speaking of Beckett, I just saw this kind of come down the pipeline that Beckett has bought a company called Knox, which is essentially, from what I gathered, they're doing a very similarly what like Card Ladder is doing. Essentially, like a card aggregator, collecting data about card sales, players, Slabstox does very similar, same thing.
Not a grading company.
Not a grading company.
Good, because it wouldn't. I don't think it'd be a great name.
No. And a grading company buying another grading company seems a little redundant as well.
But what about Beckett Magazine? They do their own price guides.
So basically,
analog, and it's analog.
Yeah, well, the world has moved on.
Have we moved on from print media?
Don't think. Yeah, I think it happened about 20 years ago or so.
I was just wondering why our shop does not have a Beckett graded
When's
magazine.
the last time you opened a Sunday paper?
Actually, I was gonna contact them so we can get a magazine rack.
But also,
where did those? Could we still get one?
I bet you can get one for free.
Yeah.
You get it from a yard sale or something, or everything must go. But it seems like to kind of go off what we're saying with the QR codes here, it sounds like maybe they're going to integrate something like that, possibly, where you got a QR code on your Beckett card, on your BGS graded card, you scan it, you go to this, you put the card, input it in your collection, digital collection, and also it's going to be like a social media of card collecting.
And so maybe like a blockchain kind of attached to it, where it's like...
That I don't know. I didn't.
No, I'm saying it'd be kind of cool to be it's sold and blah, blah, blah at this price, now it's worth this much, and then this guy sold it at this price.
I don't know if I want people's names attached to what they've sold it for.
No, maybe it doesn't say the name, but it says the amount or something. If it sells.
Or you can always hide behind a username or something like that, whatever it may be.
Yeah.
Which I won't say our favorite username. You guys can.
Oh man, no idea. Here we know what it is.
Start with a P.
If you guys listen to the show,
I thought it was always started with an F, dude.
Is it a PH or is it an F? Okay, that's what I thought. Yeah.
Oh, it's PH.
Yeah.
Yep. It's time for the first episode of Mojobreak's Blitz, and we're going to cover NFL Week 1, stars, rookies, who to buy, who to sell, in our opinion. And it was a tough one. It was a tough Week 1, a lot of sloppiness. I'm chalking it up as preseason game 4. We're ready for the first week of the NFL season this week.
Yeah.
We had very few rookie performers. The 2022 class, I was hoping to see Dameon Pierce do well. I was hoping to see Breece Hall do well. But we have Dotson from the Washington Commanders, I think, is leading the pack. Cody, did we see anybody else from the rookie class do anything?
From the rookie class, not really.
I think if you look on
that's a good sign.
I think
we're doing great.
If you look at on the defensive side,
couldn't
the
have drawn it
defensive
up
rookies
any
had
better.
good Week 1s. But like in terms of like offensive players, you
didn't see much. No,
because I know Travon Walker, he got his first interception.
Who does he play for?
Jacksonville Jaguars, number 1 pick. So he got an interception his first game, which is nice for him. Other than that, offensive, there's nobody
doing
maybe the only good news is that Tannehill didn't look amazing, so maybe Malik Willis there's a chance.
There's an upside there.
We get a midseason Malik Willis.
Ritter, maybe? I mean, the Falcons lost.
Olave didn't really do much, I think, for the Saints.
No, Mariota had a good game for the Falcons. They didn't win, but he had a good game.
Yeah.
Kyle Pitts didn't have a good game, I'll tell you that.
No, he didn't. But I think we should focus on maybe some of the star players.
Yeah, I was just getting the 2022 rookie class out of the way.
Great to start the season, but there's 6.
But it's early.
But we said at the beginning of the show, it's week 1. It's weird, especially if you're a rookie or a young kid. First, welcome to the NFL, kid, and it's gonna happen.
And playing a monsoon, it's tough. It's tough to win games.
And playing in a monsoon.
It really wasn't that bad.
Tornado.
The weather was it was bad, but the game plan should have reflected what the weather was going to be. It's not the weather came out of nowhere.
It did. It's supposed to be sunny. Actually, what's funny is there's actually a 40% chance of rain in Santa Clara on Sunday.
This is
nice.
This is our curse.
I would say one last thing on the 2020 rookie class. It's like when you don't have those quarterbacks to look at in Week 1, it's like, the
2022 rookie class,
you're really not going to be looking for much if we don't have a quarterback to talk about.
It might. We've said it before. The what if factor might be the best thing for the card market. It might be the best thing if none of these quarterbacks play.
Yeah.
Because
exactly.
You're not going to see 6-figure rookie autos coming out of products. But you're also not going to see the products tank because people will buy the Pickett's and
Trubisky didn't look great.
They will buy them I will hold to see what does happen.
Yeah.
One of the worst things that can happen right now is one of these quarterbacks or a couple of these quarterbacks come out and look really bad.
Yeah.
To add on to none of the rookies really performing that well, and then if the rookie quarterbacks start playing and they look bad and they get benched, it's going to be a long year for the football category.
Yep.
I mean, but to be fair, 2021 rookies didn't look good either. Nobody got wins except for, you can't say Fields looked great.
Yeah.
Obviously, Wilson didn't play. But, you got, Mac Jones had a horrible quarterback rating. You had Lawrence got the loss after,
Lawrence looked okay, though. Statistically, Lawrence did fine. And I feel like of all of those guys, I feel like he's the one who kind of came out the best.
Yeah, I watched
Fields
that game.
Got the win,
he was
wrong.
pretty. He looked pretty good.
That's good.
Burrow had 4 interceptions. Put up
21. Yeah.
threw for a lot of yards.
Yeah.
But 4 interceptions. You not going to win a lot of games in the NFL throwing 4 interceptions.
Who stood out? Like, what is there an individual player that stood out for each of you guys from week 1 that maybe were underrating in the hobby, or a guy that just kind of just jumped off the page for you? I feel like there's an obvious answer here after Monday night's game.
Well, that queued up one of you guys. I'm going to try to think of somebody different.
Javonte Williams had a good game.
Okay.
He looked decent. Jerry Jeudy had a long touchdown.
I was going to say, Jerry Jeudy looked really fast.
Jerry Jeudy had a long touchdown.
I feel like all that talk of Sutton's the number 1 there. I feel like Jeudy kind of took the ball and quite literally took the ball and ran with it.
He had some drops.
It really seemed like both teams were relying heavily on their tight ends. It seemed like every time they went back to pass, especially Seattle, they had I think Parkinson had a touchdown. Will Dissly had a touchdown. DK Metcalf, I don't think had a really great game. Tyler Lockett, I don't think had a great game. Rashad Penny didn't have a great game.
You know who did though? Geno Smith.
Smith.
You can get that wax for a good price.
Dude, that can't be
everybody has to be crazy right now. If you really do think Geno Smith is going to carry that team to the division title, you're out of your mind.
They didn't even score in the second half.
Granted, he looked good, but this was week 1.
Yeah.
They come into San Francisco, Santa Clara, Bay Area. And they beat the Niners at home.
Woo-wee.
That's gonna.
Now we're talking.
I'll take next week off.
Pack it up. You better.
I will not be here next week.
You better just shake off that number 10 Jimmy Garoppolo jersey and put it on.
You guys want to play a little guess that price right off the bat? A little impromptu guess that price. I just looked up. Well, it's not sold, but someone's asking. What do you think someone's asking for a 2013 Geno Smith Topps Chrome Gold Refractor Rookie BGS 9.5? Right?
Auto or non-auto?
Non-auto.
This is going to be $5,000.
No, not that crazy.
Oh, well.
2,000.
No. Any guess, E-Red?
800?
1,000.
$450.
Buy it.
That's a buy.
About to buy.
All right.
It's number to 10?
Number to 50.
No.
Yeah, that's right.
Or
buy
maybe,
it.
Yeah.
Buy it.
All right.
Gold. Real
Right
gold.
there. Buy it now, $450.
Jeez.
And Cody just bought it.
I just bought it now.
That is
it.
it won't be there by the time we actually air this segment.
That's pretty wild. I don't know. Like $450 for a guy who hadn't gotten a
Not
start
1
in
week.
the NFL for how many years now?
Not one.
Yeah, I mean, obviously,
you could double your money if he beats the Niners next
That's
week.
true. But
You want
that's
to talk
a
about
hell of a
dusting
bet.
something off? That guy was like, let me go find my Geno.
Is it
Put it
graded?
up on eBay.
BGS 9.5.
It's graded.
Yeah.
Yep. VGS. I mean, that is a great story. Geno Smith getting his start after LSU.
That again tells you what people were, what they were grading modern cards back in 2013.
Yeah, VGS. I'll say we were talking about Burrow earlier, one of my week 1 stars. So obviously Burrow had a terrible first game. You know who didn't on the Bengals, and he actually was the reason they got so close? Freaking Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Every time they needed a play, he was, besides overtime obviously, but every time they needed a big play, Jamar Chase was right there.
Jamar
getting open, Dude, like he was continuing his rookie campaign.
You know, and off topic a little bit, but fantasy drafts actually panned out for the first round because Jonathan Taylor had 160 yards.
Yep.
Jamar Jefferson had a big game. Jamar Chase, who's a first rounder.
Derrick Henry didn't have a big game.
I guess Eckler. Did Eckler?
Nope.
D.
Okay.
Henry
So
did
not everybody, but
D. Henry did not have a good. And again,
Cooper Kupp had a good.
and again,
He had a good
I meant to pick Jamar Chase in our fantasy league that our company won, and then I didn't know how to select them, and then the timer was coming down, and I guess it went to Derrick Henry.
Excuses.
Rip.
Excuses.
I think there was somebody else
Hey, I
who was
still
running
won,
the
and
rock for Tennessee that had more fantasy points than
Yikes.
Derrick Henry.
Hilliard, the
Right.
guy that I drafted in the very last round.
Yeah, I was like, I haven't even heard of this guy.
Dude, and I was telling Doug, the only reason I drafted him because he's Derrick Henry's backup, but for some reason he was playing freaking tight end in the game
Jeez.
when he's a running back.
You know who looked good too, and I haven't even looked at his card prices. He had an incredible catch, Deontay Johnson.
Oh, yeah.
He had a catch that looked like the Jordan logo. He literally caught it, and it was a bad throw by Trubisky.
I keep waiting, and a guy, he's got on the slide here, but Justin Jefferson, and I keep waiting for it. Like, Jamar and Justin Jefferson can't keep doing this, right? But
No, they can.
They are, yeah. I mean, I think by the end of the year, if this keeps happening, they have
LSU.
to be. I mean, let's again. We've talked about it. We said Devontae and Cooper Kupp, whatever, interchangeable 1A, 1B, whatever you want to say. But then after that, if they keep this up, I feel like Jamar and Justin Jefferson have to be at least the third and fourth.
No,
guys on that list.
I'm already saying after
Or number one.
Justin Jefferson's number one in the league.
Did you hear Aaron Rodgers after the game? He said that's the best player in the NFL.
Yeah, see, and I agree with.
Which kind of feels like a dig at Devontae Adams. Not gonna lie, but interesting.
Well, I don't know why Green Bay had single
base
coverage.
everything
on him.
off of 1 week.
No, but this is now a 2 years in a game track record for Justin Jefferson.
And see, didn't I say last week that Kirk Cousins was underrated? I think me and you said.
Oh,
that,
yeah,
right?
I mean,
look what happened. He come out there and he's making plays, and he is underrated because he has the best receiver in the league on his team. So I don't know. That Vikings might win that division.
Got a good running back. Actually probably have the best 1-2 punch as far as running backs in the league with Madison and Cook.
As long as they can stay healthy.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, but if Cook goes out, Madison basically comes right in, and they really don't miss a beat. Like, I think he is the best backup running back in the league.
I also have a couple of more mentions for Week 1 stars. Actually, they were from the same freaking game. I think both these teams are going to be really, really good.
Enjoy Bosa and Khalil Mack.
Just sir.
Just they suck. One, Jalen Hurts, Eagles are going to be really good.
Yeah.
But Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions are going to be a good team this year.
Somebody
Jared
mentioned
Goff,
I
dude, the
talked
Lions
about,
are
I
going to
talked
be
about
really
them last
good.
week. I was
not
on the
really
Dan.
good,
I'm on the
but-
Dan. Well, I don't know.
No, I
mean,
think you guys are underrating the Lions heavy.
I think if the Lions can come out and be competitive week in and week out, I think that's a victory. I think that's a good year. It's going in the right direction.
Did Aiden Hutchinson do anything? Did anybody know?
No, nothing
I didn't
huge.
really
But
watch that
dude,
game.
Neither did I.
if you watch that Eagles and Lions game,
Saw the highlights.
obviously the Eagles looked really good this year.
Devontae Smith didn't.
But the fact
No.
that the Lions kept up with them and it made it a close game, I think the Lions are a very underrated team. They're gonna beat a lot of good teams this year.
I like the Jalen Hurts pick. I was really skeptical. I didn't really know what to make of him, especially in where he lands in that hierarchy of the 2020 QBs. But having AJ Brown there made a lot.
Yeah,
of
AJ
difference.
Brown had a huge game.
Well, I got the stat right here. Is he had 13 targets, 10 receptions. No other receiver on that team got more than 4 targets.
So
like, he likes AJ Brown.
And Devontae Smith had 4 targets. He had
4 targets.
He had 4
That's
targets.
it.
He had 4 targets. You know how many receptions he had?
0.
0.
So,
None.
I mean, now, and let's turn this back into cards. We've been talking about receivers more than anything, right? So there's a lot of opportunities for investments. I know receivers may have a short time, but I mean, you got Justin Jefferson, you've got the Deontay Johnson, you've got AJ Brown, who's from the 19 rookie class. I mean, there's a lot of receivers that showed up this week. Devontae Adams.
AJ Brown is like really. I was looking up some of his cards, pretty cheap right now. Silver Prism PSA 10, last sold I think for $269.
Wow.
for A.J. Brown, and I think he's going to be, clearly Jalen Hurts likes him, and he's going to be a big target. Jefferson's different. His stuff's I think I saw on Sunday, National Treasure, PSA, what is it? Is that a PSA 10? Yeah, PSA 7? Yeah, that's not that great. It did sell for $2,500 for our true RPA of Justin Jefferson.
So who are you guys buying? I'll start with Cody. If you could buy one guy now, who are you buying? And I'm just talking about receivers.
I'm kind of sold on Jefferson. I mean, the price is a little
high. I'm buying
like
Jamar. I'm buying Jamar Chase.
Yeah.
Because if you look at that, I mean, Burrow's going to be throwing the ball a lot. That offensive line was supposed to be a lot better. It doesn't look like it got a lot better. Again, week 1. But Chase is probably going to lead the NFL in receptions.
Part of me wants to go with Devontae Adams, but I just feel like the hobby is like it's 2014, and then just everybody was not even born to be collecting by then. So, part of me wants to collect him because I like Devontae Adams. I liked him on the Packers, and he had 10 or 11 receptions this weekend with the Derek Carr connection.
He's gonna get a lot more.
He's gonna get a lot more, you know. But yeah, Jefferson, I just love the guy's swag. He's bringing a lot of attention to the receiver position. He's got the gritty he does. I mean, he's flashy.
He dresses up like Gritty?
No, he does the gritty dance or whatever.
Very confusing. Vikings receiver dresses
the
as
gritty
dance,
Flyers. Not Gritty, the Flyers mascot.
No, it's like the.
Okay, so I thought Gritty had a dance. It went viral.
GRIDDY is the dance. GRITTY is Gritty.
The Gritty, the scariest mascot in all the land.
Correct.
I'm going to go with the same as Dan because what I saw was Burrow struggling and Jamar lifting that entire offense up by himself.
That offense is going to go through him.
Yeah.
Like, if they need a play, they're probably going to go to one person.
I feel like the price is a factor here. If we're saying which one would I buy, I feel like any of these maybe pre-2020 guys, Devontae, we mentioned A.J. Brown, these guys are going to perform as high level as these other guys, but I kind of am a little worried that there is going to be this dividing line of post-2020 wide receivers of Jefferson, Jamar, even if A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith and Cooper Kupp put up the same stats or better than these guys, that Jefferson and Chase these new guys are going to be priced higher just because it's
Jefferson
a different
and
era.
Chase, you could buy right now, and you got 3 to 4 years where they could potentially be the best at their position in the league.
Yeah.
In 3 to 4 years, I mean,
is Devontae and Cooper Kupp going?
Yeah,
to be
exactly.
It's true.
I mean, they may be serviceable receivers, but their prime at that point in 4 years would probably be behind them.
You just saw it with Julio Jones a few years ago. The guy was literally for a 10-year stretch, historically one of the best receivers in football, and he's a complete non-factor now.
Yeah.
Ooh, did you watch?
I know.
Did you watch the Bucs game?
The stat line didn't show up.
A few more weeks.
Number 1 on that team.
Give me a few more weeks.
I mean,
well, now Godwin's hurt, but
nobody. I mean, he looked great. He looked healthy. It's a lot different having Tom Brady throw you the ball than having Ryan Tannehill throw you the ball.
It's true. Antonio Brown looked good until he decided to take his jersey off.
So Julio Jones,
he is 2011. He's 11-year.
I think he is going to have an absolute resurgence. He looks like he's going to be really good on that team.
All right, fine. AJ Green.
Okay. Is he in the league?
He's with the Cardinals.
The Cardinals?
Yeah.
We're also forgetting about Waddle. I mean, I know there's 3 guys over there, Tyreek, Waddle, and I think Jarvis Landry's still over there too. So Tua's got 3.
Did Jarvis Landry go back to Miami? No.
No, is Jarvis Landry not in Miami?
New
Am I wrong?
Orleans. New Orleans.
Yes.
Never mind, because I saw the stats and I thought he was on the Dolphins still. So Waddle is a second to Tyreek, but he got a lot of targets. He looked good with Tua. Dolphins looked really good.
Yeah, which I think that kind of leads me to who I like in week 2 is Tua. I really like Tua is a guy that seeing what he did last week, it just is a guy I've always thought he just needs the right guys around him. He needs the right coaching staff. He's got the right coach. He's got the right weapons there. I think they're going against who they got this week. The Ravens, who have last year had the worst pass defense in all of football. They just lost their starting corner, Kyle Fuller, for the season. I feel like that's like a perfect mix of a big breakout week. And like compared to the other 2020 QBs, I think his silver rookie Prism PSA 10 auto last sold for about $1,600. Compare that to like Burrow and Herbert.
Cheap,
like that is cheap compared to
Who
those
is
guys.
who is the biggest injury story this week?
For me, Elijah Mitchell.
Well,
Okay, yeah, nobody.
TJ Watt.
I don't even think
Dak.
it's Dak, right?
It's Dak.
It's Dak because
Watt's a big one though.
it's Dak when you see the Cowboys
TJ Watt.
again before the season. It's like win now franchise. Like they're gonna do it. The Cowboys have talent around them.
You know what?
A terrible offensive line.
I really
but-
feel bad for the Cowboy fans because when I go on Facebook, it's like my feed is littered, or Twitter, with just Cowboy hating memes like haven't been to the playoffs since '93 and Uncle Rico's their new quarterback and the Lions have had more playoff experience than it's like there's so much hate.
It
for the
is going to
Cowboys,
be
dude.
tough to win games with Cooper Rush as your quarterback.
Yeah.
it will be.
Better get Jimmy Garoppolo over there pretty soon.
Might want to sell your CeeDee Lambs right now the way things are going.
I mean, Garoppolo, he waives his no trade clause, and I mean, do the Niner fans have the strength to have like every single week Trey Lance loses? You're gonna have. I mean, actually, you don't have to wait until the game's over. Trey Lance doesn't score a touchdown on his first play.
Or throws a pick in the first quarter.
It is basically like you go on Twitter or you go on like
Sky's
Facebook or
falling.
something, and it's like, why do we have this guy? Why do we have this guy? You got to trade Jimmy Garoppolo. You got to.
Yeah.
You need to trade him.
But if Dak's only going to be out 4 games, like Jerry Jones said.
Okay, he has a broken hand.
Well, Jerry's saying he's only going to miss 4 games.
8 games. 8 games.
I'm just telling what the owner
8
said.
games.
4 games.
Cam Newton's available.
Cam Newton's available.
If you're the Cowboys, I go Garoppolo over Cam Newton.
Yeah, at this point, Cam's had a few chances to show he can put it together again and just hasn't. So
Who else do you go with? Who else is out there? I mean, you go knock and see if Sean Mannion wants to come over.
Ooh.
Ben DiNucci, come on down.
yeah.
You're back on the team.
Man, I don't.
The
Yeah.
Nooch.
Is he? He's got to be the practice squad.
Who's the
guy.
I
Raiders
don't
backup?
even know if he's on there.
I have no idea actually.
Tyler Wilson.
Oh no, they got Nick Mullins, didn't they? Or did they trade Nick Mullins?
they let
after
him
that?
go.
Okay, that's
They
right.
let Nick Mullins go?
Yeah.
He's your new Cowboy quarterback.
Josh Rosen.
No.
No, I'm saying that's who should be. the
Oh, I'm
Cowboys.
like,
Josh Rosen.
well, that would be his 17th team.
Yeah.
Did he play a game as a non-Cardinal yet?
I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
That guy's. I feel like that guy's got worse luck than.
No, yeah,
Brady
he played.
Quinn.
He played with Miami.
Yeah.
He absolutely played with Miami.
Who do you guys like? Any picks to click in week 2? Any players you thinking of? Anyone that maybe you should invest in going into week 2?
I'm gonna say Derek Carr. Gonna go throw for 500 yards this week.
I don't think it's a bad choice.
On that note,
Yeah, there we go.
I'm gonna stay on that receiver. Rashad Bateman had a long touchdown. I liked him. I'm gonna go Rashad Bateman.
I was gonna
I
say,
think
too.
you can do a quick flip. I think his stuff is cheap.
I was gonna say I like the. You said that they're playing Dolphins. I actually like Ravens in that game.
Yeah.
Over the Dolphins.
Oh, okay.
I like Dotson from the. I think that people are sleeping on the 2022. They're not even ready for the 2022 rookie class. I think Wentz really connected with Dotson, and I think the Commanders are a lot better than people are making them out to be.
Wentz-
I also
Wentz
think
is-
it's week 1.
Yeah,
I think there's a lot of
I was gonna- I was-
there's a lot of teams that won that may be their only win for a long time.
Whose division is that? It's
Well-
not the Cowboys.
Yeah, it's not the Cowboys. Or
Is it the Giants?
yeah.
It's the Eagles are the only one that showed promise, and then you have the Commanders.
I was gonna say Wentz. I do like Wentz, but like we know what type of he will find a way to shoot himself in the foot.
He won a
eventually.
Super Bowl.
Wentz's cards, I was looking it up. I mean, at least some of the high-end stuff still sells for like a surprisingly high amount.
Yeah.
It's still,
I just don't
When's
trust
the last
Wentz.
time Carson Wentz played a full season?
last year, how many games?
Oh, I don't think so. No, he was out.
Okay. I can't remember how many games
he was out. I think they might have Jacob Eason in there at one point.
They probably did.
He got all of his injuries out of the way. He's ready to go. Play a full season.
Yeah.
Go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
I feel like
better hand
at some
the ball
point
off
Sam
at
Howell
least
is going to
30
take
times.
his job, dude. the quarterback rookie over there in Washington.
Yeah, maybe. I like two running backs I'll mention. One, because he's on my fantasy team, and he's part of my Bolts. Austin Eckler, who should have a way better week in week 2. That might be a good quick flip, because also I think against the Chiefs, he has the most yards from scrimmage against the Chiefs, more than any other team in all of football, and they had the second worst rushing defense last year.
Well,
they play each other twice a year.
They do play each other twice. So,
Chiefs defense has improved this year, though.
It has improved.
We're going to see it tomorrow night.
It has improved. But I think
I love to
Eckler's
see
gonna
them beat each other up. That's my favorite.
And I think Christian McCaffrey's due for a bounce.
How are we
going
to watch that game tomorrow? We all have to watch it on Prime Video.
Prime Video.
I mean, I have it.
Prime?
I have it.
It's on Amazon Prime?
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, I have it. I'm not happy about it. I don't like change.
Get used to it. Next year, it's going to be Prime Video for Thursday nights. You're going to have to get Apple TV for your Sunday
Okay,
ticket.
well, you don't know that.
Yeah, it's
Apple
going to
TV?
happen.
It's gonna
happen,
Probably.
yeah.
Well, I have Apple TV.
Yeah, everybody does except for Dan.
I mean, you're going to have to pay a fee on top of having Apple
Oh,
TV.
yeah, you're going to have to get Apple TV, Dan?
Do they have Android TV? Is that a thing?
I mean, Android sells TVs, like physical televisions, but
Hey,
yeah,
they
those are the ones with the VHS attached to it.
Apple TV
If it
is
makes
dope.
you feel better, you could watch Apple TV on your Android TV. If it makes you feel any better.
I have a little icon to buy Apple TV. I'm trying to figure out how to delete it, but
Severance, best show.
I told
on
you
TV
at some
in
point it's
2022.
going to be unavoidable to have an Apple product in your household.
Yeah.
Yep.
At some point.
no, I have one. My wife has an iPhone.
Yeah.
It's in the house.
Sick.
She joined the right side of the.
I'm like, I'm all put that outside.
Park it outside when you come in.
Yeah, leave it in your car.
All right, and the last topic is the news that Sports Card Radio broke that it's confirmed that Fanatics is buying Panini America.
You dip.
But we haven't heard the news yet. I think it was one of those things in the hobby that we've assumed was going to happen. No sources out there saying that's confirmed, but all signs point to it eventually happening. But before I let you guys go for this show, I want you to think of all the possibilities of products that are now going to come to the Fanatics Panini brand, because now we have the licenses maybe switching hands earlier. You've got Topps Chrome basketball, you got maybe Definitive basketball, you have National Treasures baseball now that's going to be licensed. So this opens up a lot more things for collectors when it does happen. But I'm going to ask you now is how much is too much? Because you've also got to figure right now there's no basketball products coming out from Topps except for like Overtime Elite stuff that's not NBA. So theoretically, Topps gets the license, and now they start making 30 more basketball releases.
Well,
on top
it wasn't that long ago when we actually did have that. Though.
We never. Not in the breaking era. We never
in the breaking
had
era we have
basketball.
But if there's any time that can actually sustain that type of growth, I think right now with the whatnots and the loops and all the local card shops opening up and all the breaking operations and breaking on Instagram and all that, I get what you're saying, but I think done responsibly, I think the industry can handle it.
Yeah, I mean, there was also a staggering. Let's see, I'll play guess that number with you here, and maybe you have or haven't seen this tweet, but Trevor Lawrence's rookie year. How many 1-of-1s do you think were produced for Trevor Lawrence last year?
This is gonna be 1,500.
Pretty close. It was 11, like a little bit over 1,100.
1,100, about
Yeah.
1,100.
1,100. So,
It's a one of a kind.
right.
One of a kind. There's only 1,100 one of a kind.
There's only 1,100 one of a kinds.
Now, obviously, you've got all the brands. You've got base cards that are 101. Those aren't the same as your NT Shields. Those aren't the same as your
Are
Flawless
you counting
Shields.
like promo pack 101s as well?
I don't know. It was it was a source on Twitter because they compared.
I don't think you can because I
There
don't.
was.
there's
You know
no
how many Tom
checklist where
Brady
you can-
101s there were during his rookie year?
Oh, this is gonna be a ridiculously low number. 32.
6. There was 6 Tom Brady. That's pretty good. That's a pretty good guess. 6. So now that's what I'm saying. So now you're gonna have 2,500 1-of-1s. 3,000 one-of-ones. I'm not saying that the theory of these brands not working, that there's not enough demand. I'm just saying, like, at what point...
But each one-of-one is its... I mean... A Contender's one-of-one is a Contender's one-of-one.
Yeah.
A National Treasure's one-of-one is a one-of-one. Like, I mean, the only thing that I see, and going back to Contenders, there's like, we've talked about it multiple times. There's not only one-of-one in Contenders as like a Super Bowl ticket. They have like every photo variation.
Right.
So like technically there's like 5 or 6 of them. I think we should get away from that mindset. I think if ideally each individual product should have their one-of-one, along with each individual subset in each product can have a one-of-one parallel, but we shouldn't take like one subject and make 6 one-of-ones of essentially the same card.
Yeah, and I love the fact that we're going to have Topps Chrome basketball, and there's some brands that we've missed.
Well, I mean, again, this is all speculation.
Right. Oh, I'm saying theoretically this does happen. That's
If
why
this
we're having
does,
this
yeah, okay.
conversation.
We can't.
It's never
just-
been confirmed, but I'm looking at like a product like, okay, so like Museum Baseball, for example, does well because it's licensed. But if you bring in National Treasures Baseball, it's licensed now. You bring in Select Baseball, it's licensed now. Like, what does that do to these brands that maybe only perform because they're licensed through Topps, like for baseball, right? I think same thing with Panini. I think like brands like Obsidian, right? Brands like Obsidian were great, but like say you start having Topps Chrome football or Topps Finest football.
I think without a doubt,
I think there's going to be brands that are not going to be wanted.
I think without a doubt, if this ever was to happen, there would have to be sets that get cut out of production, and maybe not cut out of production like forever, but maybe every 3 or 4 years they make an appearance.
That would be great.
And then they go back. So that actually gives you that like anticipation. If you're a big like Obsidian fan, I mean, obviously the flagship, the Prisms and the Chromes,
Every
and
year,
like,
yeah.
But NT, what if you do NT baseball and you do it like every 3rd year? So if you love NT baseball, you're like, I'm going to wait and I'm going to be stoked when NT baseball comes out. And then maybe that year you take something similar, like maybe Definitive doesn't come out that year.
Yeah.
I think NT baseball is, if this does indeed happen, NT baseball is one of those where I think that will be one of the first baseball, like the Panini licensed baseball, to like really be a huge hit. Like, just feel like that would be one that would be the
Flawless.
most anticipated, flawless as well. I just think those would be the ones that would be really highly anticipated by baseball collectors. Like having not just the first rookie, true RPAs out of NT baseball with logos, but like to the first year of it will be monumental.
But how do you separate that and Definitive?
That's what I'm saying.
How do you separate Flawless and Diamond Icons?
I think you would have to do what I just said, like, and it financially might not make sense, but if you are going to release an NT that year, you don't release Definitive. If you're going to release Immaculate Baseball, you pull out a Topps product, and then the next year you do the same thing, like.
Or you pull out the best piece of that product and insert it into another product.
Yeah, but then you get like the Chronicles type of thing.
Well, yeah,
like
yeah.
it's like, and I think Chronicles is like truly divided 50-50. 50% of the collectors love it. 50% of the collectors despise it.
And now you're gonna inevitably have Prism versus Chrome every year, right? For every sport.
Well,
where's the line in the sand get drawn?
As far as the consumer should benefit from that, because not everybody is going to gravitate towards Prism and not everybody is going to gravitate towards Chrome. So theoretically, those should be cheaper because the demand will be split now.
Yeah.
We may down the road not have to worry about buying a $2,000 box of Prism football.
Yeah, I mean, I could see the benefit of getting these staple brands to football. These staple brands to basketball.
I think one of them. I think you'll definitely have certain sets not be as popular anymore.
Yeah.
If Chrome exists for all sports across the board, Prism may not be the rookie card that you want to collect, or it could be vice versa. It could be completely opposite. It could be Chrome's out, but Prism is still king. When
well, then
it
you
comes
have,
to being
then
a
you
rookie.
have optic too, right? And then you have like clearly.
Well, I mean,
one-offs.
optic and chrome. I don't know if like you're gonna have to figure something out to separate those two brands.
Maybe
because they are too close.
Yeah, you take the clearly Donruss and put it in optic as just an insert to chase. I mean, there's a lot of things, and there's a lot of speculation of what's going to happen. We will wait and see.
Well above our pay grade to come figure that out.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of rumors swirling around, and we'll see what happens. I mean, we actually have the Industry Summit coming up in a couple weeks where Panini will, is always there with Beckett, and we'll see if there's anything announced there. We'll bring that news to you guys as soon as we can. But that's it for the hype today, guys. 2:55. We got more football this weekend. Also, Major Mojo Red Zone Football is going to be released on Mojobreak.com over the weekend. So it's our newest buyback. You got 3 NFL hobby boxes at random inserted in with 5 to 8 buyback cards. Lots of Herbert in there. Lots of Burrow. Lots of Mac Jones. There's a Brady rookie. There's Mahomes rookies. It's an insane run of buyback cards, highlighted by some of the best wax boxes. 2021 NT first off the line, 2000 SP authentic. So these are all. It's a hybrid. You get a random team, and you get that team for the buyback cards and whatever comes out of the wax boxes. So it's kind of the best of both worlds. Makes a really exciting break. Those spots are at Mojobreak.com, and that is it for this episode of The Hype, and we'll see you guys next week.